So here I have for sale my 2007 Ford Fiesta Sport 1.6 tdci. Let's give you a quick walk around and show you every little bit of the van. The reason I'm getting rid of it, incidentally, is because of that. Just bought a newer one. So what to know about it? It's got 75,000 miles on the clock. It is a 5-speed manual. It is a 2007 on a 56 plate, diesel, obviously. It's had 3 owners from new, including myself. I bought this car back in June, July of last year, and the only reason I bought it was to cart my dogs around. That's my daily car, but not very dog friendly. So this was just a nice little, just a run around really. As you can see, it is very clean and tidy. Now, to be fair, the front alloys, although they are fairly okay, are filthy. I've tried to clean them, but you can see I haven't been very successful. It's all fairly straight. A couple of little knocks and bangs, which I'll show you, but nothing, absolutely nothing that's of any great concern. Down the side, I have tried to clean it as well, so as you can see from the wet floor, but I ain't the car cleaning guru, let's put it that way. That's the back alloy. Oh, another thing I'll show you as well is the tread on the tyres. It's very, I'll go back here, you see that? Oh, there you go. There's loads of miles left on that. There's a little scratch here, I don't know if you can see that. And you can pick it up just there. Okay, nothing. You wouldn't see it, but for the fact that you're pressed up against it. The back, I'll show you inside the boot whilst we're here. Press this button. He says. There you go. Here we have the boot. Again, I've taken it all out. I used to have rugs and mats and various bits and pieces in here. I mean, the rubber's very good. It's a bit dusty because the dogs like the beach, and that looks a hell of a lot worse on camera. But it is just dog hair, which will come out with a good lint roller. It's got a half bulkhead and then half mesh, which is nice, and that comes off as well. You can just see the bolts there, and there's 2 on the other side, and then it's bolted to the ceiling as well via what would have been the other grip handle. Oh, let's have a look inside. Now, inside is where this car really shines. It's spotless. Absolutely spotless on the inside. So first thing to see is the seats, and the seats are absolutely immaculate, and the part leather with this kind of reddish, black reddish interior insert. Usual wear on the bolsters, but there's none in this car, so normally they get quite worn here, but as you can see, it's fairly spotless, to be honest. I put new mats in it when I bought it. Again, they could probably do with a little bit of a steam clean if you really wanted to be pedantic, but other than that, they're really quite nice. Leather wrap steering wheel, as I mentioned before, 5-speed. Let's get in. 5-speed manual box. Can you see that? It's quite bright. There you go. It's got a power outlet here. It's got the aux up here, which is all here, aux and various bits and bobs. This one has got air conditioning, which is quite nice. Coming up to the summer, so that's obviously something that would be useful. What else to say about it? It's got electric windows. It has got this here, which you can use to turn up the radio, down the radio, see different channels. And it's also got Bluetooth-ish. I'm going to say ish because I've never actually connected it to my phone. What else to comment about inside here? As I say, leather steering wheel, I think I've mentioned it before. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Now let's start it. You can hear it run. Wait for the light to go out. There you go. So as you can see, it's a very steady idle. And it is quite cold. I did have it turned on when it was being washed, but it's still relatively cold. And there is no lights. I'll do that again a second time. Just so you can see that there is no lights on the dash. It's flashing for the alarm. So there you go. They all light up. They all go out. And then it starts. So let's have a look at the radio. On.
Something different about her. She's weaker.
I'm a Radio 4 listener.
Yeah, mine's been really busy but boring. I've just been complaining to producer Will about how busy.
Oh, preset stations. Fairly normal stuff. I'm not going to bore you with this, but you've got a pair CD. It's got no CD in it at the moment. You've got your aux, which just gives you functionality to plug it into your phone or your Bluetooth, or not your Bluetooth, your what are they called? Music-y things. AM, FM, and that's to set your clock. I don't know what else to say about it, to be fair. Menu screens and all sorts of very fancy nice things. Over here we've got the glove box. It's empty at the moment. The manual's usually sitting there, but they're here. So what I'll do now is I will go through all of the paperwork that comes with this car, and it is quite comprehensive. So in January it had the kit, the auxiliary belts and various bits and pieces done, because so let's give you the mileage 1 second. So the mileage, as you can see, is 75,249, and for an 11-year-old van, that's not too bad at all. But they advised me to do the kits after 100,000 miles or 10 years. So because it was just coming up to 11 years old, I decided to get that sorted because it hadn't been done before. So I'll get you the paperwork for that, but I'll just point out a couple of other bits and pieces. In the most recent MOT, it said that it needed 2 new tyres, so I got those, and I also got the front tyres tracked as well, just to make sure that it is running. Top right hand corner, you can see that was done on the 13th of January 2018, sorry. There we go. This was the most recent MOT, which was done on the 9th of January 2018, and it says there about tyre worn close to the legal limit, near side front and offside front. It also mentions a slight blowing on the exhaust. I've never had that done, and it's not bad. You can't actually hear it. I think he was just being a bit pedantic, but you can see also the mileage was 72,000. No, it wasn't, was it? Yeah, 72,926, and it's now 75,249, so only 3,000 miles ago, which is about right because we are currently at the end of April, and this was done on the 9th of January, as we mentioned before. This is the receipt for the belts. As you can see, it was done on the 9th of January with the MOT. So we had the MOT test at the top, 40 quid, Robin so-and-so's. Timing belt kit and water pump. Antifreeze went in there, the labour obviously, and a drive belt as well. Plus various other bits and bobs. In January, I serviced it myself. Obviously the book hasn't been stamped because I did it myself, but I've kept the receipts of everything that I put into it. So as you can see, it had a sump plug, it had a Fram oil filter, again the date has been highlighted in the top right. It also had a low profile oil filter socket, because in Fords you need the specific socket. You can have that if you choose to want it, if you buy it obviously. What else have we got? We've got the sump plug, we've got the oil filter. I think I bought that one, but it was the wrong one. A Crosslands oil filter. Why do I have 2? Not sure. Engine oil. It's Shell as well, which is quite good. And I got some engine flush, so I flushed the engine out as well, to be sure. This one here is, yeah, they gave me the wrong socket, so I had to go back and get it changed. Again, as you can see, they're all either the 13th or the 14th of January. I actually serviced it the 14th, but I bought most of the parts of the 13th. This is the V5. As you can see, that's the number plate, and that is my. How many owners? So 2 previous, so 3 including me, like I mentioned before. I also had the engine cleaned when I bought it, because it had such low mileage, and basically the background of this car was the lady who owned it also had an Audi TT. And she kept this because this was her Tesco's van, so when she went shopping, this is the one that she used because she couldn't get anything into her car. So it had been doing quite short bursts, so I got it cleaned, Terra cleaned, and that was the receipt for that. What do we have here? This is, it's had new brake pads and discs as well. When I bought it, didn't necessarily need it, but they were grinding a little bit. So that was that, and the date, so that was 125 quid, as you can see. And the date was, where is it? I cannot find it. Yeah, front brake pads and discs. somewhere. There it is. That's the reg, but where is the date? I think that was probably the latter part of last year. Oh, there you go. 30th of August 2017, and I bought it in June, July, something like that. Little green slip, and I bought it. And then these are all, I think they're just all of the old MOTs. So if I go through them very, very, very quickly, that was issued on the 24th of Jan. That one on the 14th of Jan 2016. That one on the 6th of Jan 2015. 24th of Jan 14, and so on. That was 13, the 11th of Jan 13. January 12. Did I say 12? Yeah. That one was 2011. 2010. And this, what is this? MOT exhaust emissions test results. So this was done when? Did I do this? I didn't. Date of test was the first. Oh, that's just a part of one of the MOTs, I assume. Date of test. So I think this is just something to do with the emissions. It's passed, obviously. But when it was done, that one, it's MOT things. Again, all of the paperwork. As I say, inside it, there's not really much else to say. It's fairly clean and tidy. You can't. This is really pushing it quite close. I also installed these things because I think I'm a boy racer. They're just little kind of wind things. They're a little bit wet now because they're still wet from when I washed it. This is the window. It's also got electric wing mirrors, so they all work. So if I click to the right, as you can see, it's going right, it's going left, up and down, and then you flick it over to the right. Same thing. It's right. It goes left, it goes up, and it goes down. I'll show you onto the engine bay. I don't know why, but people like to see these things. So if I flick this here, a second, I get around to the other side because I can't bend that way. So just flick this. There you go. These you just pull. Little tab here, and then this comes up.